Good morning, students. Hope you all are good. Well, as our school has started teaching learning process through online classes. So, after an interval of time, we are back to study. And I, Mrs. Tanu, is going to teach you chemistry. But before we start, please write the syllabus for first term. For first term, we have two chapters. Chapter number 1, Matter and its composition, and chapter number 2, Physical and chemical changes. I repeat, for first term, we have two chapters, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Now, I am going to start first chapter, that is matter and its composition. Now, what is composition? Composition means to say material from which something is composed of. What is composition? Material from which something is composed of or something is made of. For this, I have two examples for you. Firstly, we have example of water. As we know that chemical formula of water is H2O. That is, water is composed of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So we can say that composition of water is 2 molecules of hydrogen is 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. In the same way, we have second example. It is of carbon dioxide. Again, chemical formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. So again we can say that composition of carbon dioxide is 1 molecule of carbon and 2 molecules of oxygen. So this is all about the composition. Next, you see various things around you. Some are big and some are small. Some are heavy and some are light. You can touch or feel all of them. You can do so because they are all made up of matter. This point is very important. That is, we are able to touch or feel all the things in our surrounding. Touch or feel all the things in our surrounding because these all things are made up of matter. These all things are made up of matter. That's why we are able to touch or feel them. Next point is air too is made up of matter. That is, air is also made up of matter. When you inflate a balloon, you trap air inside it. That is, whenever we inflate balloon, what we trap in it? We trap air in it. We trap air in it. That is, we trap matter in balloon. We will recall this point in this activity, activity number 1, but after some time. Now, first topic of this chapter is matter. This is very important topic. So please underline the definition of matter. Anything that occupies space and has mass is matter. What is matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass is matter. Space and mass. For this we have examples like the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe and clothes we wear, all are made up of matter. In our surrounding, a book, a pen, a chair, a table and all other things, all are made up of matter because all these things occupy space and have mass. So in this paragraph it is given that all the things in our surrounding are made up of matter, because we know that all these things or all the things in our surrounding occupy space and have mass. Now in this figure number 1.1, we have number of things and we know that all these things occupy space. Ball, pencil, copy, all these things occupy space and also all these things have mass. So we can say that these are the examples of matter. Now we are able to give many examples, or we are able to write many examples of matter, because we know that anything that occupies space is known as matter. So we have many examples in our surrounding, and all these are the examples of matter. Next we are going to study volume. Now what is volume? The space anything occupies called its volume. That is, please underline, the space anything occupies called its volume. So we can say that we can say that anything that occupies more space has more volume. That is, anything that occupies more space has more volume. For this we have example. The volume of football is greater than that of tennis ball. Now why the volume of football is greater than that of tennis ball? Because the space occupied by football is greater than that of tennis ball. So the space a football occupies is greater than that of the space a tennis ball occupies. That is, the volume of football is greater than that of tennis ball. Next we are going to study about mass. You can realize that something has mass when you lift or weigh something. That is, whenever we lift or weigh something, we feel and we realize that something has mass. Now what is mass? Underline, the amount of matter anything contains is called its mass. What is mass? Amount of matter. Amount of matter anything contains is called its mass. And as the mass increases, so does the weight. That is, mass is directly proportional to weight, and with increase in mass, weight also increases. This is because as we have formula of weight, that is, weight is equals to mass into acceleration due to gravity. That is, mass and weight are directly related to each other. So as mass increases, so does the weight. A full glass of water weighs more than half a glass. Means to say, if we have a glass which is full of water, then the weight of that glass is much more than as compared to the glass which is half filled with water. So now we are going to prove that air is also made up of matter. In this activity, we will show that air is made up of matter. For this, we prepare a measuring scale by fixing it from the mid with the help of thread. That is, we take measuring scale and fix it from the mid, and we fix it from the mid with the help of thread. After that, we tie two uninflated balloons at the two ends of this measuring scale. Uninflated balloons. And then inflate one of them. Inflate one of them and put it back in place. Then we see that the inflated balloon is heavier than uninflated balloon because air trapped in it has mass. So because air is trapped in this balloon and that air has mass and that air also occupies space, so we can say that matter is trapped inside this balloon and this matter is air. So we can say that air is made up of matter. For this, we have alternative method also. For this, you can balance two inflated balloons by adjusting their positions. That is, we tie two inflated balloons at the end of measuring scale and we adjust them. After that, we prick one balloon. That is, we prick one balloon with the help of pin, and again watch, the inflated balloon is heavier than the deflated balloon. This again shows that in inflated balloon, air is trapped and that air has mass and occupies space. That means to say air is made up of matter.